My name is Dolores Mensah Hervie. I'm a PhD student from St. Ivan University. My presentation is on analysis of factors contributing to unemployment in Ghana. I'll start with the outline. I'll talk about the introduction, the objective methodology, factors of unemployment, effects of unemployment, government policies that should target unemployment in solving them, and then I'll talk about the conclusions and recommendations. I start with the introduction. Unemployment is a phenomenon in almost all countries in the world, and International Labour Organization's 2019 report estimated about 172 million people being unemployed in the year 2018. And they said this number is likely to increase to by a million in 2020 due to expanding labor force. The ILO defined unemployment as people of working age 16 plus years who are without work. They are seeking for job, or they are seeking for work, and they are not getting work to do, paid job. There's no paid job available. The Ghana Statistical Services report of 2016 indicate that about 1,250,913 persons were estimated to be unemployed in Ghana in the year 2015. And out of this number, 57.2% were females and 42.8% were males. And they went on to indicate that 58.6% of this number were based in the urban centers, and 41.4% were in rural areas. The total unemployment rate for Ghana in the year 2018 was 6.7%. And this number is likely to increase this year 2020 because of the pandemic. A lot of people of the working class have lost their jobs. The purpose of this study is to analyze the factors contributing to unemployment in Ghana and their effects, and then I will suggest solutions to it. With regards to methodology, I use desk review method to analyze literature about unemployment, factors contributing to unemployment in Ghana, the relevant factors contributing to unemployment in Ghana. Now I'll move on to talk about the factors contributing to unemployment. The first to talk about is, although Ghana has economic growth, is experiencing economic growth, the employment content of the growth is quite low. Then the job opportunities available in Ghana is less than the growth of the labor force. So we have more people seeking for few jobs. Then another problem or another factor that is contributing to unemployment in Ghana is the low educational background of some Ghanaian labor force. They do not have the skills required for the available jobs. Another factor to look at is lack of knowledge of the labor market issues. Those who are unemployed, some lack information about the professional, the skills, the competencies that are needed for jobs in the labor market, and that is creating unemployment. Then another area or another factor to look at is the rate of growth of the Ghanaian population. According to the United Nations Economic and Social Affairs Population Division report of 2019, Ghana's population growth is on average of 2.2% in 2019, and it is estimated that it will increase annually by 644,747, which is more than the number of jobs created in a year. Then Ghana is an agriculture-centric country, but most unemployed, particularly the youth, lack interest in agriculture. There is this perception that it is the uneducated who enter into agriculture or farming. The ability for Ghana to translate its economic growth into job creation and better income and livelihood is another factor that has contributed to the rate of unemployment in Ghana. Now I'm moving on to look at some of the effects of this unemployment. There is one academic scholar who mentioned that the number of unemployed in Ghana is the record of the number of unemployment in Ghana. It's lower than the actual number of the unemployed in the country. So the effects, I have divided the effects into three. I'll talk about the social, economic, and the political. With the social, the persistent jobless leads to desperation, frustration, and depression. It drives some of the unemployed, particularly the youth, to engage in social vices like prostitution, armed robbery, drug addiction. Some enter into immoral sexual behavior that leads them to contracting diseases like HIV, AIDS, syphilis, and the rest. Then there is a rise in mental and psychiatric problems in the country. There's a decline in interest in formal education because you go to school with the intention that you finish and get a job to do. So when you finish job and you have to sit at home and still depend on your parents, then what is the essence of going to school? So it devalues the educational system. Economically, prolonged joblessness could lead to loss of talent and skill. You finish school and you are not working for 2-3 years. The profession that you have learned, you may forget, and it affects productivity. Then government loses taxes and income generation as a result of unemployment. This is very obvious. Then the informal sector that provides about 88% of jobs in the country. The jobs they provide are not permanent. They are casual jobs. They are temporary, irregular jobs. Most of these jobs are owned by families, and so it provides employment, but it is not enough. Structures must be put in place. Then politically, severe levels of unemployment leads to brain drain. The unemployed citizens may prefer to offer their invaluable services to other countries in search of greener pastures than their own. And most of the time, those who travel outside are the professionals who have to stay and help develop the country. Professionals like lawyers, doctors, nurses, teachers, engineers, they travel outside looking for greener pastures. And when there is unemployment, or because of the increase in unemployment, the government becomes unpopular and will want to use unfair means to stay in power. And increase in unemployment also leads to instability, government instability, because people demonstrate to drive home their demands. Now we look at the main issues that is contributing to the persistent unemployment in Ghana. which government policy should address. The emphasis on entrepreneurship models and then capital assessments for startup businesses into the curriculum of educational sector, then continuous assessment and review of mismatch between the demand of labor and supply of labor, the inability of the informal sector to absorb the excess unemployed labor due to high banking lending rates, and then the inaccessibility for loan facility, because those who finish school do not have money and therefore they cannot go for loan. They don't have collateral to go for loan. That is one. And then two, the interest rate is very high, and therefore it is not advisable to go for loan to start a business. Government must look into that. Then the increase in population, the government must put in place policies, measures to reduce the population growth. In conclusion, although government is a major employer in the formal sector, the informal sector employs more of the population. Therefore, government should formulate policies to address the structural challenges in the informal sector and make informal sector create more permanent jobs. Then our curriculum should stress on vocational and technical skills or competences. Structures should be put in place so that retirees in the informal sector could still live meaningful lives. And then the government should also clean up the biodata so that those who go on retirement can exit and give way to the young to take up the jobs. Government should be assiduous in implementing the National Employment Policy launched in 2015. Government should also introduce the study of entrepreneurship, as mentioned earlier, as a baseline program in the educational curriculum, particularly at the tertiary level. So people finish school and they don't think about government getting them jobs. Rather, they will set up their own businesses and employ people. Initiate policies would promote the setting up of more SMEs. The educational sector should also be linked to industry to facilitate integration. This is very important. Creating a link between education and industry. Government should also introduce technologies that will make agriculture attractive to the youth, like mechanized farming. The central bank should introduce monetary policies that will reduce bank lending rates, the interest rate, to encourage people to invest and access loan facilities to do their own jobs. Then the government or the ministry in charge of employment should create a correct and consistent database of the unemployed, so that firms will have this database available and will go in anytime they need a particular skill or skills. The unemployed should be informed about the labor market programs. Thank you very much. Kusanum Sepen.